Hey guys, Ryan Smith with the Ryan Smith Home Selling Team here to discuss major mistakes that you really need to avoid when selling your home. With the market being as hot as it is right now, a lot of people are considering putting their home on the market and selling it. And so, if you're in that boat and you're kind of considering the idea of putting your house for sale, or if you're just watching these videos to learn a little bit more about real estate. I've got 7 tips for you. 7 things you really want to make sure, these are mistakes that you really want to make sure that you avoid in the home selling process. So 7 things, pay attention to them. It'll help you be really successful when selling your home. So number 1, and I know this is the most basic, and you probably are expecting me to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You need to hire the right agent. And I know that's maybe the eye roll, but it's, oh my gosh, he said what I thought he was going to say. But it's true. It makes a huge difference. And so how do you pick a great agent? Well, I'm going to tell you the biggest thing that I would look for, just like if I needed heart surgery, I would be looking for a surgeon that has performed the most successful surgeries that around, right? I want to find the guy who has faced the most challenging situations and has consistently made people happy, right? Because there's a reason why he's successful. There's a reason why he's good. And to be quite honest with you, the most real estate agents in any given area don't sell many houses. So I know there's the perception that every agent's out there just slinging houses left and right, but in reality, that's just not factual. So pick an agent who has a great track record of success and who sells the most houses in your area. That's always extremely important. Number 2, and this is also really important, is you want to make sure you don't overprice the property. So even in today's market, as hot as things are, it is still possible to overprice a property. And if you do that, that's the fatal mistake that's always very hard to recover from. As an agent, the one line I've heard probably more times, I wish I had a penny for every time I've heard this line, because I would be rich right now if I could have that. It's the idea of, well, I can always go down, but I can't go back up. So I want to make sure that I start the price really high or at a number much higher, because I can always go down, but I can't go back up. That is true. However, what happens is once you initially go on the market, that's when your house has the most momentum. And if you start out too high where you're not getting people to be interested, your house begins to lose the momentum that it would have had, making it much more difficult to actually get it sold. So you want to make sure price it right from the very beginning. Number 3, another issue, a lot of times some people think I'm only going to consider the highest priced offer. Well, of course, everyone can understand why that would factor into the equation and why you might want to do that. So if you're a seller and you're reviewing 4 or 5 offers that's come in on your house, a lot of times there's that natural inclination to pick the highest offer. Well, is that always the right move? And the answer is it is not always the right move. Every situation is different. Now, of course, one of the most important factors of any offer is the price. That makes perfect sense. But what happens if they're offering you a very high number and an attractive number, but their lender is horrible and there's significant doubts of whether they can even deliver, Or what if they want you to spend an exuberant amount of money fixing some things up before we ever even get to inspections? So, or their closing date that they want is way far out in the future, or it completely doesn't align with your family's goals. All these things really need to be considered. Price is obviously extremely important, don't get me wrong. And we take great pride in helping our clients get the highest price in the marketplace. But there are some things that are, more important than just that number. That's why a contract isn't 1 page long. A sales contract is more like 9 pages long, because there's a lot of other factors and terms that are part of this. So, consider more things than just the price. Number 4, some people just fail to get their house ready. And what we mean by that, think about what a buyer is going to be interested in when they're walking through your house, and do your best to help your house fit that mold of what they're looking for, right? So if there's issues inside the house that need to be fixed, broken window, a big hole in the wall, these things need to be patched up, and you need to be preparing the house to look as good as it can for the consumers that are out there and going to be coming inside. Number 5, not allowing showings. So this is a big one. Sometimes sellers, for one reason or another, be it the kids' schedule or having pets at home or their work schedule, begin to outlaw showings, saying I can only show this certain day and this certain time. And whenever that happens, you are turning away a large segment of the market. So when selling, you want to be all things to all people. You want to get as many people inside the house and let the house appeal to as many people as possible. doing so increases demand for your house. As demand goes up, of course, the ability to sell it and get as much money as possible goes up right along with that as well. So accept as many of the showings as you can. Be willing to let people come inside. Number 6, we have seen sometimes people get too emotional. So, selling the house can be an emotional process. It's very normal, but you really do want to treat this like a business transaction. Treat this just as if it was any other investment that you were handling. And so sometimes, the emotion can cause problems. Whereas if you pull the emotion out of it and really just treat it just like any other business transaction, it'll help people make wiser decisions as they're going through this process. And finally, the last thing that we see people make a big mistake with is also not decluttering. So, it's undoubtedly proven that if you unclutter and declutter, that's the right word, declutter. If you declutter your house, it makes a big difference. The house is going to show larger. It's going to feel bigger. It's going to show more attractively to people. They don't want to see all a bunch of trinkets and stuff. That's not really what is attractive to a buyer. They want to see it clean, spacious, decluttered. That's what's going to make it most attractive. So, we talked about 7 mistakes just to kind of rehash all those one more time. So we want to make sure we pick the right agent, pick someone with a track record of success who has a history of making people happy. Make sure you don't overprice the house. That's a big one. Make sure that it is priced reasonably for the market. Sometimes people, number 3, make the next mistake, which is only considering the highest offer. No, don't do that. Make sure that you are considering all the terms involved in the offer and making the wisest decision based upon those terms. Number 4, make sure that you're actually getting the house ready for sale. A lot of people make the mistake of not getting it fully ready. That really hampers their ability to sell. Number 5, make sure we're allowing showings. We want to let people come and see it. That way we appeal to the broadest group of people possible. Number 6, don't get too emotional, right? It is a business transaction. And finally, make sure that we declutter. I'm sure everyone's heard that last piece of advice many times. So hope this advice has been helpful. Feel free to reach out to us anytime. You can hit us up on the website. That's www.ryansmithhomes.com. Once again, ryansmithhomes.com, or just call us here at the office, 213-5335. Once again, area code 254-213-5335. Thank you so much for checking this video out. We'll be back with more soon. Have a great day.